Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a 2023 American action-adventure film directed by James Mangold, who co-wrote it with Jez Butterworth, John Henry Butterworth, and David Koepp. Set in 1969, the film follows Indy and his estranged goddaughter, Helena, who are trying to locate a powerful artifact before Jürgen Voller, a Nazi-turned-NASA scientist who plans to use it to alter the outcome of World War II. Plot: in 1944, Nazis capture Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford, and Oxford archaeologist Basil Shaw, played by Toby Jones, as they attempt to retrieve the Lance of Longinus from a castle in the French Alps. Astrophysicist Jürgen Voller, played by Mads Mikkelsen, informs his superiors the lance is fake, but he has found half of Archimedes' Dial, an Antikythera mechanism built by the ancient Syracusan mathematician Archimedes, which reveals time fissures, allowing for possible time travel. Jones escapes onto a train filled with looted antiquities and frees Basil. He obtains the dial piece, and the two leap from the train just before Allied forces derail it. In 1969, an elderly Indy is retiring from Hunter College in New York City. Marion, played by Karen Allen, has recently left him and filed for legal separation due to Indy's depression after their son Mutt died in the Vietnam War. Indy's goddaughter, archaeologist Helena Shaw, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, unexpectedly visits, claiming she wants to research the dial. Indy warns that her late father, Basil, became obsessed studying the dial before relinquishing it to Indy to destroy, which he never did. As Indy and Helena retrieve the dial half from the college archives, Voller's accomplices attack them. The CIA assists Voller, now working for NASA as Dr. Schmidt. Helena, revealed as an antiquities smuggler, absconds with the dial to auction it on the black market. Indy is framed for two colleagues' murders, forcing him to escape through the Apollo 11 moon landing parade, then an anti-war protest. He seeks out his old friend Salah, played by John Rhys Davis, now a New York cab driver. Salah surmises Helena will likely auction the dial in Tangier, then helps Indy flee the country. At a Tangier hotel, Indy disrupts Helena's illegal private auction, but Voller and his henchmen arrive and steal the artifact. Indy, Helena, and her teen sidekick Teddy Kumar, played by Ethan Isidore, chase them through the streets in a tuk-tuk. The CIA intercepts Voller after the US government disavows him for going rogue, but his cohorts murder the agents and steal their helicopter. Indy, Helena, and Teddy trail Voller to Greece and team up with Indy's old friend, Ronaldo, played by Antonio Banderas, a professional sea diver. Guided by Basil's research, they dive to an ancient Aegean sea shipwreck and retrieve a Graphicos tablet containing directions to the dial's other half. Voller arrives and murders Ronaldo. Indy's group escapes and heads to Sicily, pursued by Voller. Inside the Ear of Dionysius cavern, Indy and Helena find Archimedes' tomb, the dial's second half, and a 20th-century wristwatch on Archimedes' skeletal arm. Voller appears and captures Indy, wounding him. Helena and Teddy escape and chase Voller. After reassembling the dial, Voller reveals his plans to time travel back to 1939 to assassinate Adolf Hitler and help lead Germany to victory in World War II. At an airfield, Voller activates the dial and locates a time fissure in the sky. Indy is held captive on Voller's stolen plane while Helena stows away through its landing gear. Teddy follows them in another plane. While approaching the fissure, Indy realizes that continental drift could have altered the timeline coordinates. Rather than 1939, the group arrives at the Siege of Syracuse in 212 BC. The warring armies shoot down Voller's plane, believing it is a dragon. Indy and Helena parachute out just before the plane crashes, killing everyone aboard, while Teddy lands safely. Archimedes finds Voller's body and wristwatch in the wreckage. He gives Indy the dial, but keeps the watch. Indy and Helena learn that Archimedes created the dial to bring users from the future through fissures that lead only to 212 BC. As the fissure begins to collapse, Indy wants to remain behind, feeling he has nothing to return to. Helena, fearing a time paradox, knocks Indy out. A recovering Indy awakens in his modern-day apartment. Helena, Teddy, Salah, and Marion are there as well. Marion and Indy reunite. About the film. The movie was directed by James Mangold, who co-wrote it with Jez Butterworth, John Henry Butterworth, and David Koepp. It is the sequel to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 2008, as well as the fifth and final installment in the Indiana Jones film series. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is the only film in the series that is neither directed by Steven Spielberg nor conceived by George Lucas, with both serving as executive producers instead. The casting of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny includes Harrison Ford, John Rhys Davis, Karen Allen, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Antonio Banderas, Toby Jones, Boyd Holbrook, Ethan Isidore, and Mads Mikkelsen. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was filmed in various locations, following the pattern of previous films. The shooting began in England. The movie was filmed in Scotland, Italy, the United States, Greece, and Morocco. For the filming, environments representing different time periods had to be constructed, which increased the production costs of the film significantly. The movie extensively utilized CGI effects to portray a younger Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford. This de-aging technique also significantly contributed to the film's costs. The film's score was composed by John Williams, featuring a soundtrack that showcased a memorable adventurous musical world in the style of Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was released on May 18, 2023. The film was made on a budget of about $300 million, but with all production and marketing costs, the total cost was about $600 million. The film was a commercial failure, grossing $379 million worldwide. The film received mixed reviews from critics. Many were expecting an adventure movie of the same level as the previous Indiana Jones films from the movie, but felt that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny didn't reach the same level as its predecessors. Many praised the return of Harrison Ford to the role of Indiana Jones, and the digitally rejuvenated Indiana Jones using CGI also received acclaim. 10 interesting facts about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny movie. 1. George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and Paramount Pictures first agreed to 5 Indiana Jones films in 1979. This release will finally complete the initial agreement. 2. This is the first Indiana Jones movie not to have a poster designed by Drew Struzan, who retired in 2019. Tony Stella designed it instead. 3. In real life, the Nazis were followers of mysticism and the occult, which influenced their racial beliefs and policy, and a fascination with supposedly supernatural artifacts. 4. Steven Spielberg was originally set to direct, but stepped down in 2020. James Mangold was hired at Harrison Ford's suggestion. 5. The street scenes of New York were actually filmed in Glasgow in late July 2021, with the astronauts' parade taking place on St. Vincent Street. 6. In this film, Harrison Ford is over 20 years older than Sir Sean Connery was when he played Ford's father in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. 7. The first and last Indiana Jones movies were released 42 years apart. 8. During the train sequence when Indy is looking for the Lance of Longinus inside the train car of artifacts, the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch from Monty Python's Holy Grail can be spotted on a shelf. 9. The original ending had the time travelers go back to 1939 with Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, put into the difficult position of trying to save Adolf Hitler from Jürgen Voller, Mads Mikkelsen, killing him. 10. Only Indiana Jones movie in which Indy doesn't carry or even use his revolver at all.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos and don't forget to press like button and share.